Just turned on our mics. I don't have the room mics. All right, 7 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome to the June 3rd planning board meeting. Farmington.
Let's have anyone?
Okay, so I'll start the meeting with just some general observations. We're just there and where you came in, and all else fails, follow around. First one to go. So there is a generator if there's an emergency and power. We don't anticipate that tonight. It's really gorgeous out. So let's see. Just asked that everyone silence cell phones and any other electronic devices that might go off during this meeting. Agendas are over where you walked in, as well as the sign-in sheet. Just ask that you sign in just so that the clerk knows who was here for the record. This meeting will be conducted according to the rules and procedures adopted by this board earlier this year. Let's see, next item will be approval of minutes from the May 20th meeting. Any corrections or additions? Can I have a motion to approve? Seconded by Gina. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, next item up, there's no legal notices published for this meeting. Into the order of business. First item up is a continued public hearing for Adrian. It's in the final site plan. So I guess, Adrian, you want to give a rundown where we're at now?
Yeah, I just asked for another 2 weeks because my engineer was on a longer holiday break for Memorial Day. So I'm working with him, and I'm also working with town staff on maybe a small change. So I'm still waiting for that information then, and what that'll change or not change or whatever. So just need a couple more days or weeks, to get to the next meeting, then everything is submitted for.
Okay.
Moving on.
Right. Ron.
Yeah, I drafted a resolution to continue the public hearing to the next meeting on the 17th of June.
Yep. Okay. Do you have anything?
No, all set.
Fire. Public hearing, anybody here speaking for or against that? More time? Okay, anybody online would like to speak for or against this application? All right. Adrian, you've seen the resolution. I think it's pretty straightforward, just carrying it to the next. So good with that?
I'm good with that.
Yep. Board, any comments on that? Okay. Straightforward one. Okay, I guess with all that, I have a motion to waive the reading of the resolution and approve it as noted.
Motion by Tim.
Take a roll call vote, please.
Boucher.
Aye.
Regina Sousa. Doug Gates.
Aye. Okay. No public hearings tonight, so we'll just move right along into the public meeting action items. Next item up is the PB 2026-0601. Minister Samuel Rivera for the final site plan application for a single family residence. Summary of where we're at, basically.
It is.
Didn't look like a whole lot changed, but.
All right, I don't know, not much has changed, but I want to just point out a few things. First of all, I want to apologize if I've seemed confused, because this is the first time we've ever been through any of these situations. We've never owned a piece of land, right? And so it's like a fish out of water, right? You're looking for that water, and Mark and our engineer is that water. But there's a disconnect of some sort, right? So I'm still not fully full of the information that I need, and I don't get it fast enough. So the information that I'm getting, I get from here.
Okay.
So, I haven't seen the site, the updates, but in an email, they told me that they fixed it. So I haven't even seen it yet, so you probably saw it before we did, but I don't know.
Right, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of changes.
Right.
Preliminary.
Right.
As far as the resolution goes, it's basically, you'll need to add another title block. And the superintendent.
Okay,
No, take that one off. This
So
is-
take that one off, because it's county road, that's
Yeah.
right.
okay, because I read about that.
Yeah, so it's really just getting rid of that. I think that was the only condition.
Yeah, the rest of it is pretty straightforward. To sign it, and then you've got 62 days from the date that the chairman signs it to file it in the county clerk's office.
I'm glad you brought that up because I read that. So it's 180 days, is that what I read?
180 days to get the final drawings in here,
Final drawings of the lot itself?
the final site plan.
So that's what Brandon is doing, right?
Right.
He haven't sent it to you yet?
But he has to delete that one line with the.
But he knows that, does he know that or no?
Yes,
He
you
should
know
know
that.
that, yeah.
Okay, in an email, all right.
Copy of that.
I apologize, I'm asking you the question I should ask him, but they don't answer quick enough, I guess.
Yeah, it was,
Weeks go by.
it's actually pretty easy. All he has to do is hit delete on the drawing, basically.
Yeah.
Move that one line and then just resubmit it, and then it'll be ready. for-
Like, I didn't even know that he wasn't gonna be here tonight, like, I had no idea. Cause I see all the names of the people that are gonna be here, but they're not online or anywhere else, but.
Yeah, well, sometimes when they're really easy like that,
Yeah.
it's items like, for example, the next one. Really, there's no, nothing on that one as far as, conditions, right, Ron? So I mean, that one, yeah, we can just approve that even if the person's not here.
I see,
A lot of times there's, a whole bunch of conditions that go along with these.
I see,
Not so much a final, but a preliminary.
I see.
But even yours, this is the real minor.
That's nice.
condition. It's just, I don't know, yeah, it's actually, pretty straightforward. And again,
Okay.
it's so, I guess, easy that probably Brendan just decided that here, it's that straightforward. It's just
Okay,
removing the one title block or the signature block and it's good to go. You just have to resubmit it and then it's ready for signatures.
okay, so I guess I'll send him an email. I'm sure he got your email.
Yeah. The town would have, when John sent that out, he would have, had that. There's also all these resolutions, they're preliminary, but they're posted up on the town website, so he would have had access.
All right, I guess I'll ask you while I'm here, because like I said, I don't have communication with Brendan. You mentioned that we can only have one driveway, right? So what do you do with the other two driveway? How do you block that off? Just put a stone there, a big boulder or what?
You actually remove the connection. When-
Put grass there.
Okay, well, one of them's already covered because we never use it, but,
Yeah, that's basically, I mean, that's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
all right. We had to call, contractors and builders and have something done, but.
Not really.
pretty
No,
simple.
It just needs to be, not a paved or stone access road. So I mean, just put topsoil on it. Seed it and get grass.
But if you ignore it, it just disappears.
Well, that too, yeah, I mean.
But I got one more question though. You mentioned one of the stipulations to move forward was the slabs. And there were 2 slabs of concrete there on the map. You might look at it.
Yep,
And the last email mentioned that we had to remove that.
yep.
And we'll remove it, but it was already there and it's all crumbled in pieces. So we were just removing it little by little anyways. Cause it used to be a patio for the original house that was there and we took it out because it was just falling apart, but the other slabs are just 2 little pieces of concrete that someone must have moved to that area and it just stood there. So do we need to remove that or
That's what's shown on the drawing.
okay, is there a reason? Because we're gonna be doing concrete as well, concrete work on the land.
You-
I was just wondering, the
We-
board was asking me a question, I couldn't answer.
We can either act on this tonight or we can postpone it for 2 weeks and we'll set meet. And it's up to you.
But to do what? I just want understanding of why the concrete is being removed when every.
Concrete serves no purpose. It's not related to anything anymore on the site.
Oh, it's not? Well, see, this is why I'm so confused, so this is why I need clarification.
Okay.
But I appreciate you clarifying that because I'm not getting clarification anywhere else.
Yeah, that would have been considered part of the previous structure base, right?
Right.
So that structure is no longer there.
Correct,
It
and
really serves no purpose.
it doesn't serve a purpose.
Yeah, so, and that's usually one of the things that we typically would ask you to adopt just because it doesn't make to have it there anymore.
Right, right, because a person can put another house there or something, build something.
Yeah, build a shed.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, no, that's clear and that's logical. But last month, when we were here, Brendan mentioned, well, no, you gotta get rid of this concrete. I'm like, but it was already there and it's falling apart. I mean, I started little by little, but
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, but it's gotta get removed. But he couldn't explain to me why. But they,
Yeah.
logically, I can kind of make a,
Yeah, it's really,
Conclusion.
yeah, just an opportunity to kind of clean that up and also prevent it
okay,
further use, yeah.
okay. Yeah, that makes total logic.
Yeah, yep.
Well, I guess those were the questions.
Okay, yeah, and Ron, I mean, we kind of covered it.
Thank you, partner. I appreciate you clarifying.
Yeah.
I'm like a fish out of water.
Some of these are like technical things, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it's pretty straightforward really what
Okay.
you would actually need to do with those. And again, the resolution's very straightforward as well, so it's just, Brendan should know exactly what he needs to do. Once he modifies that recent plan, you're good for signatures and can move forward then. So,
Great.
so you did see the resolution, again, it's pretty straightforward, it's a believable item, so I assume you're good with that.
Yeah.
All right, I guess with that, we can keep on moving. Everyone's good with any public comments? I mean, this is a meeting, it's not a public hearing, but anybody here in the room? Anybody online? Okay, with that, I have a waiting reading and approve the resolutions presented.
So moved.
By Regina, second by Adrian. Take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia. Aye. Gina Souza. Adrian Bellis. Ed Weeks.
Aye. Approved. Brendan makes the changes on that, gets them back in.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Hey, you're good. Yeah, yeah. You're all set.
Appreciate you.
Sure thing.
Thank you, folks. Have a nice evening.
You too.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Next item up tonight is PB 2026-0603. Todd Enright. On behalf of Christopher Longoof, for a single-family residence along the east side of County Road 28. Are you Chris or Todd?
No, I'm a contractor.
Oh, okay. Representing, okay. If you just want to give us a quick update, basically where we're at, and this one's it's easier, but
As far as I know, I thought we were good last time I left. I did get an email. There were some revisions you guys needed, town, on the drawings. Is that what we're here for?
We're here for final approval tonight.
Yeah, I don't think that we received those yet.
They received the emails,
Did I,
the
Todd?
resolutions.
Yeah, I know Todd sent it out to get everything revised, but I don't think we got them back from the architect yet.
Oh, well, that's fine. They're not gonna sign it tonight anyways.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
They're just gonna approve it.
almost positive. He's just like, oh,
yeah.
take.
Yeah, and there, everything that had been submitted is at the point where we just have to formally approve it tonight, basically. There's, there's no conditions even within within our resolution, so.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything's been done, satisfied with these, so
Okay.
right now it's really just, having this meeting to take action on it and then,
Oh.
and it's, ready for signatures basically and move on to the next steps after this meeting.
Sounds good to me. Only thing we'll have to get together on again is just the driveway situation. I'll get with the highway department and stuff, and
County.
it's a weird situation there. County, I'm sorry, county, yep.
Yeah, because it's kind of.
Other than that, I think we're in good shape.
Okay, yeah, and drawings must be too, because it's ready to go with no conditions, which is very rare.
Yeah, it's good that way.
Yeah,
Very well.
so, yeah, you're all set, we'll just run through the rest of the stuff with Ron and,
Take it.
yeah,
You've got my draft. We're ready to go.
yeah, we're ready to go. All that,
I'm all set.
board, anything? Public meeting, anybody from public want to talk about this? Favor or opposition? Anybody online like to speak in favor or opposition to this one? With that, I guess we can move on. So could I have a resolution to approve the resolution presented? Moved by Adrian, seconded by Regina. Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia. Regina Susa. Adrian Bellis. David.
Aye. Here you go.
You guys, have a good night.
Next action item is, PB 0306. It's for RG&E, for the final release of letter of credit for the Station 127 located at 961 Hook Road. Ready to go?
All signatures are now on the drawings, are on the forms. And the draft resolution is the recommendation of the town engineer and the construction inspector that we're ready to close this out after all these years.
In a while, I had to.
Almost 6.
All right, pretty straightforward to that, so, can I have a motion to waive the reading of that resolution and approve it as noted?
Motion by Tim.
Motion by Tim, seconded by
Adrian.
Adrian. Take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia. Regina Susa. Adrian Bellis. David.
Aye. All right, that one's good. Next item on the agenda is other board actions. This is Land Tech surveying on behalf of Rural, sorry if I Polidori. And this is for the discussion of a concept plan for those single-family dwelling with related site improvements, including the proposed driveway connection to Klein Road in town of Farmington and a few adjacent properties located within the town of Victor.
Hello? Sorry.
No, go ahead. Just say your name so that John can break that down. And
My name is Tom Sutherland. I'm here with Lantec, representing my client, Mauro and Karen Polidori, who are present here tonight. I'm here presenting this 1.75 acre lot, currently undeveloped farmland. Mauro and Karen own both adjacent properties to the west and the south. One of those lots are in Victor, and being the west lot, and the south lot is in Farmington. So we are proposing a single-family home with an on-site leach field, as well as a private drive that connects from Klein Road in the Farmington town to lands in Victor. Now the lands in Victor, this would connect to multiple single-family homes. Right now we have 4 homes in Victor, and then the one that we are proposing in Farmington. So this private drive would service 5 homes. So with that private drive, we also have a 60-foot ingress-egress utility easement. At the last meeting that John Sharaba had with you guys and the town of Victor, they brought up some comments. One was to bring one of the houses into Farmington, so that's what we did. And then we also show a bus stop along Klein Road for the families that will be living off this road, just for school pickup. And now we'd driveway, correct, private driveway. And now we're really here just to get input from the town board before moving forward, and be happy to answer any questions or comments you guys have on the plan.
all right, thanks. Turn it over to Ron.
Yeah, we met with the representatives from the town of Victor over the Victor Town Hall, Mauro and his wife, and went through the proposal. Originally, there was nothing but a driveway in Farmington, and the code officer couldn't find how he could issue any permits for that. So they moved the house from one of the lots in Victor to this site in Farmington, and it's reflected up there. One of the other things that I asked them to consider, and I see that they did, was to provide a pull-off area for the school buses to wait for the kids, because imagine that you're not going to have every 5 homes dropping their kids off every morning, waiting there patiently for the school bus. so there may be some delays. And it's also a safety improvement because it moves the bus off from the road where they can load and unload kids more safely. But it also improves the sight distance along Line Road, which was a major concern of both Victor and Farmington planning boards. As far as fire protection, I'll leave that up to Ken. Down here, the house is in the Farmington fire protection area on that one lot. The rest of them are in the Victor Fire District, Fire Protection District, whatever it is over there. So it's been a long discussion. I mean, originally, I think, Marl, you had many more homes than this.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had 26, and I'm just getting 80, it's about 80 acres. And we weren't gonna do anything on that one lot in Farmington. We're gonna do 5 in Victor, where the road keeps going. And then, we're gonna do the other one down below. So we canceled that idea, so we're gonna do 5, one in Farmington, 4 in Victor up on that road. And then further north, on the same property, we're gonna do just 5 more. So a total of 9 in Victor, 1 in Farmington. 10 lots on EV. So a lot of green space.
Yeah. All right, I mean, yeah, I mean, it seems pretty straightforward now that we're.
Well, they're here tonight to gather some consensus on the part of this board as to any issues that they see. I would ask the zoning officer and Ken to give their points of view.
Sure, yeah. Paula, do you have anything to add with this
I
one?
don't have anything to add at this time.
Ken, do you have anything for
Right offhand.
board members? Any, I mean. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
That was Rhonda, very good.
it was actually, I take my daughter to school almost every morning on my way to work, and this is one of the routes I go is, so that would be helpful in that area, because
Yeah.
it's us there in the shelter. Yeah, do you have any? Yeah, I mean, at the concept level, I think it looks, good. You like that pull off as well, so.
What we're really looking for, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, is, when you're, give us your comments so we can bring it back to Victor. Because that would be a roadblock if you guys weren't happy.
Yeah,
And then Victor can't do anything. So I guess Victor's waiting on you guys to be ready.
Yeah, and then the next step in this process, Mauro, is basically to prepare preliminary
Do the perk test.
site plan for that lot here in Farmington. Please pay attention to the materials that you put in that road. Keep the drainage on your property, not on adjacent properties, and make sure that it is constructed to town standards for accommodating the weight of the fire truck. Now, what's the distance from Klein Road to your driveway?
To the driveway up there? On the house?
Yeah,
I do not have that distance right now, but I would estimate 280, 300 feet.
okay.
Um,
Reason I asked the question, we have a requirement in this town that if the structure is located greater than 500 feet from the highway, then they have to design a pull-off area for fire trucks to set up their staging, correct?
Yeah, we need a big enough space to turn a truck around in there.
Yeah, so it is definitely less than 500 feet.
Okay,
And then when we do move forward with the Victor portion, we will have a truck turnaround.
Yeah, because our biggest truck has a 47-foot turning radius. So we need either to be able to turn around or have some way of getting down the driveway with a turnaround. Because middle of the night backing these things up
Yep.
is not easy.
Yeah, so we'll likely have a hammerhead turnaround at the end.
And make the driveway a little bit wider than what you normally would. Just because a lot of our drivers are class 5 drivers, they're not CDLs. They don't drive every day.
Okay,
I'm a little bit wider, gives them a little bit more, so they don't go out the side and bury a truck.
Well,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna make that driveway at least 18 foot wide. On the house, I mean,
Perfect.
right?
for now we have it shown as 22 feet.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wide enough and then,
Yeah,
you know,
about 30,
turn around.
somewhere around 13 foot's wide enough.
Well, that's something that we can work on.
Do
Yeah,
a little easement on one.
yeah, yep, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, Victor may
Even,
want you to have a pull-off area when you reach that
Yeah.
500 foot.
That's something that we'll-
usually, Victor just wants like your bus turnaround, usually.
Okay,
But I mean, but if he wants to turn around, we
Well,
can do it.
someplace we can back in and just pull out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But it won't be down here probably, it'll be a little further
about
up.
halfway down the
You'll have
drive.
You'll have to go on Victor property.
Yeah, about halfway up the drive, somewhere. I mean, just,
Oh, yeah.
it's just,
okay.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
what will happen is these minutes will be sent to the Victor people, to indicate, that we like the idea now that you are putting a structure here in Farmington and you've got some safety considerations for the kids. We'd ask you to reach out to the Victor Schools, transportation.
Okay.
What's her name? Kelly? Kelly, yeah. Yeah, because we're gonna wanna have her input, on that pull-off area. I'm pretty sure that the town highway superintendent can figure out a way to keep that clear in the wintertime, so you don't have to worry about that. It's probably in the right of way anyways. So,
And then the town highway guy wanted plowing contract.
Yeah, and that's something that we'll work with. We're still early in the,
yeah,
really at the design phase.
yeah, the rest of it, and Victor, you probably will have to have a plow contract.
Yep. So just-
Okay.
No, it'll be an HOA.
Yeah.
HOA goes 5 houses, but they'll share the expense of maintenance, plowing, but your highway guy wanted the name of the contract. Well,
It's too early for that.
but we'll make him happy.
Okay,
We will give him the name.
But by the time we get to the final
I'm
process.
sort of, until I sell all 5, I'm part of the HOA with the empty lots.
There you
So I'm
go.
Part of it until I sell them all,
then you got your hands clean.
then I'm done.
Yep.
All right, I mean, that was really about it, yeah.
Is there anybody online?
Anybody online have any comments on this application? Hearing none, okay. I guess with that, I mean, there's really nothing we need to act on, we'll provide the minutes, right, Ron? to-
Yeah,
Victor, I think,
exactly.
So, yeah, we don't have any comments. We like.
So now that you guys are okay with this plan, should we still be going to the PRC meeting tomorrow? Because we probably won't be back for a little while. I mean, we need to do perk testing and
Can you call in?
yeah, I can call in.
There you go.
Okay.
Technology is wonderful. Hell of a lot cheaper than the price of gas.
Yep. Saves me about an hour and a half.
There you go.
So,
All right, well,
Right.
thanks for coming out and.
Yeah.
doing this.
well, thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care, Marl.
Have a good night.
You too. All right, I guess,
Say hi, yeah.
So
my son My son's name is Nick. He's gonna be a city fireman, but he's a Victor volunteer. He's been volunteering. He's 20 now. He's 13 years old. He started volunteering in Victor. And he's Victor Farmington village.
Salmon Court.
He's an EMT.
Yeah, I've got,
So I'm all into knowing about
yeah,
fire trucks. And
I've
all
got
that.
one that's battalion chief down in Savannah, Georgia, and I got one that's a lieutenant with the sheriff's department. So,
Okay.
yeah,
You've been
plus he's
fireman-
chief in the fire department.
I hold anything up. Am I holding anything up?
You are.
I'm sorry. It was nice to meet you.
Thanks,
I just
meeting
wanted
you.
to tell you about my son. Thank you.
Will you get him the hell out of here?
He's like me, he likes to talk.
My son is going to be fired.
Hey, Ron, open discussion.
Okay, I've got 2 pages of reports here. I'll be very quick. Did talk or email with Frank Ruffalo today, the Sky Solar guy.
Yep.
Remember him?
Yeah.
They're coming up for an extension if they're wanting to continue on July 20th, that you're, or excuse me, July 15th, second meeting in July. Their current extension expires on July 20th. So he had to resubmit documents to RG&E because apparently something changed with state regulations and they had to have new information provided to them, which he has just completed, and he'll have that to report in his letter if he does get the okay between now and then. Okay. Fairdale Meadows preliminary drawings have been signed. Final drawings were submitted this week and will be on the June 17th agenda. Remember, you said you didn't want to have to bless something as being ready for a final approval if all the conditions of the preliminary have been met, and they have. So we're going to schedule that for final subdivision and site plan for the 41 lots. Okay? Gateway Drive, Flex Building Apartments. This was John Sharaba, Land Tech, if you recall. They were in and they had 3 buildings. One of them, 2 of them were flex storage, like the around the east side of 332. The third one was a mixed use with commercial on the first floor, apartments on the second and third floor. They now completed their redesign of the stormwater because they had to move the buildings around in the design, and they expect to submit that in July for planning board consideration. A Farmington Point incentive zoning project. Here again, John Sharaba, Land Tech. This is the project down on 332 that surrounds Cobblestone, the plaza, the Prosecco's, the post office plaza. They will be coming in to talk with the supervisor and me. They want to move forward now with their incentive rezoning. There's been some minor changes. Their timing is such that they now have finished projects in other communities and they're ready to go here. So that will be something they'll go to the town board will send it to you guys. You guys review it again and we'll go from there. Monarch Manor Section 3 final subdivision plat and site plan. Those drawings were sent this week. They will be put on your iWorks. Is that the correct terminology?
I work, yeah.
Yep. And that will be introduced as a final. It doesn't go back to the county because nothing's changed from the original plan. Monarch so that's something hopefully at the June 17th meeting, if everything is in agreement. If not, it'll be the 1st of July. The Pintail Crossing road dedication issue. We finally discovered today what the holdup was. If you, those of you that were on the board may remember, they did go after a grant for phase 1 of the project from the state Department of Housing and Community Renewal. And they needed to get clearance from that agency to take that private road and make it a public road. And so that it didn't, they had approved that it didn't affect the completed project. Well, they've got that now from the state. Now the next step is the investors in that project need to have assurance that if something were to happen over there, they could rebuild the damaged unit. And I referred them to the various sections of the town code where it addresses that. So he seemed to be pretty happy with that. They'll know definite date when that's going to be ready for town board action, but at least we're getting a little closer as we go along here. New Energy Works, the Fish Solar Project, 30-day coordinated review on that began on May 8th, ends at noon on June 8th, next Monday, okay? At your next meeting on the 17th, you will be able to, we hope, designate you as the lead agency and start the seeker process on that application. We've had a lot of interest on this already from neighbors. They got some good questions. They hopefully will have good answers when the thing gets moving along. The public hearing opens on the special use permit and preliminary site plan on June 17th. Notices go out to Manchester Town Clerk and legal notices posted next week. The next thing is Dimension Energy, another solar farm. This is the Ironwood Solar Project over here on Route 96. They submitted today information in response to the planning board's resolution where it cited items missing based on MRB's input and staff. So we'll see if that's ready for you to accept it and make a determination at the 17th, or maybe it will be July 1st. We just don't know at this point. Farmington Volunteer Fire Department preliminary site plan drawings are awaiting signatures from the acting engineer, Wes Petty for Lobella Associates. I got an email tonight from Wes. He'll be over here tomorrow at 9 o'clock approximately to sign the drawings, and then we can get the finals in. It may be something that you want to push off to July 1st simply because of the other activities that you have with the scheduled public hearing and the controversy that, likely to occur there. This, by the way, keeps on line with the timeline that I gave Joe Trable there at MRB a few months ago. That would probably be the first meeting in July, but we'll see what we get. Okay. They are, I talked with Joe today. They are going to talk with the neighbor to the north about some buffering for that new driveway that they're going to be putting in. So we'll see what they come back and what they report to us on that. AJ Glass, okay. AJ met with the town staff. It was a very good, productive meeting. What you're seeing out there is a lot of very valuable pieces of buildings that have been put on hold by other agencies and changes that are made to the design of the building, but they had to have the product ready to put up. And so they're going to be unloading that and getting rid of it. It's just a matter of time, but there's still going to be some open areas. So they're going to apply for the special use permit and site plan under 16583 outdoor storage of materials. And that likely be a July submission. Farmington Meadows project, they came in, they need to have street names in order to go to RG&E to get their will serve power and gas determination. They came up with a list of names. We sent it to the 911 center. They rejected two of them, so then now there's trying to find the other two. Some of these are going to be historic names like Quaker Drive. Okay, so they're working on that component. Okay. Next is the town board, as you may or may not know, at their last meeting on May 26th, denied the draft local law number 3 on e-bikes. And so they wanted to take a look at other chapters of the town code rather than a separate chapter. See if we could combine some of this with existing chapters and also to address some of the issues of e-bike classifications and what we would and would not allow. So they've established a committee. We've begun working on that. The goal here, the target is to get this to the town board in August for them to review it so that it can go to the county in September and they can act on it prior to the end of October, which is, or excuse me, take that back. I got mixed up here. They want to get the e-bikes in as soon as possible while it's still good weather out there. Okay. So they're looking at some changes. Accessory structures is the next one. And that was established by a local moratorium, which took effect. And it expires on the 26th of October. So working backwards from the time of public hearing, we would need to have the public hearing at least the first meeting in October to see if there were any changes. More than likely, it would be the last meeting in September. Means that it would go to the county for their meeting in September. Means that the town board has to have it the first part of August, so that at the second meeting in August, they can decide, yeah, we've studied it now. Been up on the website, the public's had a chance to look at it. We're ready to go with it. Okay. But you see how all that works back? You think, boy, October 26th, you got a lot of time. You really don't. So we had a meeting yesterday on that, and there are a number of changes coming in the accessory structure area. I can say that the biggest one is going to be separating residential accessory structures from commercial or business or industrial, and also from agricultural. So hang on, we'll get there.
That comes to us too also.
That'll come to you when it's in draft form. Yep. Yep. That's my report. I had probably the longest presentation all night.
Yeah, you didn't have to spend the time writing resolutions or conditions.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, that was impressive. All right, thanks, Ron. Holly, do you have anything?
I can just share with you, we're busy, the office has been pretty busy with an unusual amount of, and legitimate resident complaints, lots of different things. But there are things that we need to look into, things that, some things that we haven't experienced before. But, we've been patrolling the town for grass violations, trying to keep that under control before it gets out of control. And you have 3 lot line adjustments in front of you. And June 17th, I'm glad you're all Ed's resting up, because that's gonna be a fun night.
He's back for that one.
Yeah, yep. So that's pretty much what I have.
Okay. And do you have anything?
Nope.
No public and hear any more, anybody online, got anything to add? Okay, order, anybody else?
I don't have anything, but I will not be at the select.
Okay. Know that, but, will everyone else be here July 1st? As you guys know? I'll be here, right? Yeah, okay. Adrian, do you have anything? Good? Good. I'm good. Guess with that, during the meeting, who wants to adjourn? Adjourned by, motion by Adrian, second by Leah. All in favor, I was saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.